All right, Crysis 2 demo just came out, and I got 3 other guys with me. I got Mr. Chris Lockey, I got Mr. Jones, otherwise known as Optic J, but a lot of people don't know he likes to be called Jones, so I'm gonna call you Jones.
That works.
Then we got the Dead Pixel, and I'm Hutch. And Crysis 2, what do you guys think? I just played it for the first time today. I haven't played it at any other trade show. I wasn't too excited about it until I saw the multiplayer trailer maybe last week, and then I was like, that looks dope.
Overall, I liked it. I think at first I was a little frustrated with the hit markers, but once you get used to like the gun and the weapons shoot fairly steady the whole time. Again, it's just at first the hit markers are a little frustrating, and as you play the game more, you get more comfortable with it. You see that it's really not what you think it is, because at first you're like, oh, this is like Gears of War when I'm feeling like a Call of Duty shooter. So take your time with it when it comes to that. I think that was the first thing that really came to my mind.
I'm with Jones. First few minutes were very unkind, but I actually, once I switched to the scout class, shotgun, silence pistol, it started coming together for me, because the hit marker detection became less of an issue if I'm using a 1 or 2 shot kill, and fully embracing the extra abilities like the stealth and the extra armor. You really have to take advantage of that to make this work for you. It's not Call of Duty.
On Crysis on the PC multiplayer, you had every single armor ability, and it wasn't exactly balanced. You could do everything. I was a little worried with Crysis 2 because you can do that again here, but I think the multiplayer team that ported this to the console did a really good job at balancing it this time. The way how it actually, everything, it kind of is cohesive, how everything drains in a kind of smart way. Like sprinting doesn't take as much as armor ability or stealth. It's like, it's very, it's evened out, and I actually really like that. I haven't had enough time to play with it enough to really get the biggest distinction across from Black Ops. It plays a lot like Black Ops right now, control scheme wise, but I think I'm leaning a bit more towards being like Halo with the armor abilities and the setups and the loadouts. It's a really kind of nice mix of everything, but I think I really got to customize a character before I have a final opinion on it.
It kind of reminds me of Medal of Honor a lot in the way it reacts in terms of like the timing and the rhythm of the game.
And the aim down sights compared to the hip fire.
Yes.
It's hard not to make comparisons to big AAA shooters like Halo and Call of Duty, because especially on consoles, they basically set the standard for us. I mean, I'm primarily a COD player, but you're definitely not a fanboy. You're definitely not a fanboy of COD. You play a lot of it, and you for sure play a lot of games.
I don't know. I'm kind of a fanboy.
A little
fanboy is someone that really focuses on one game. And if you're playing multiple games, then technically, I mean, you can be like a console fanboy, but
you win this time.
Yeah.
Who volunteers to be a fanboy? That's
I don't know. I'm just saying I like Call of Duty.
I mean, I'm a fan. I'm definitely straying away, which is why I was looking forward to Crysis 2, because you play Call of Duty for 5 years straight, you want something different. And I liked Crysis 2 right away. I saw some initial reports from other publications, other gaming media companies, saying that the controls on console were extremely non-responsive. But I'm pretty sure they were playing an alpha build, because the build I was playing, the controls felt really tight. My only gripe is the discrepancy between, like I said, the aim down sights and the hip fire.
And the draw distances on these maps so far, it's pretty long, so having a seemingly accurate assault rifle that really doesn't have the range you would expect is a really disappointing thing for me so far.
It feels like it kind of plays like Battlefield, where the bullets kind of drop as opposed to just go straight. And if maybe I'm just aiming wrong because I'm not hitting.
Distance,
yeah, it's like maybe you just got to aim a little bit higher.
I didn't notice too much of a negative distinction between the hip fire to shooting down sight, and it may be because I was a little bit closer, but I felt like it was pretty consistent. If you're up close and then you zoom in, that's where the biggest problem was, is that it consistently took away almost the damage that you were dealing from a hip fire to, it's like there's some little block just imaginally happen if you're hip firing and then you aim down sight, and that's where I got a little bit frustrated with. But other than that,
do you guys,
I didn't think it was that bad.
Do you guys dig the parkour?
At times, I've done some really fun drop shots, like and grabbing onto ledges as you jump a small ravine. That's really kind of the best application so far. But for me, and I hate the dolphin dive in Black Ops, because my style is sort of a little more precise, and that extra slide really throws me off enough to get me pissed off, and usually puts a bullet in my face.
I don't know if the actual slide maneuver that you do when you push in the left analog stick for sprint, and if you hit B, then you'll do this slide maneuver. I think you can shoot while you're doing it, but it's
Yes.
really more of an evade tactic than anything
Yeah.
else. I can't imagine being able to be super precise while you're doing that maneuver.
No. They actually show in the video where they're like, this is how you can be good at the demo. They're showing a rocket as a guy sliding out from under it. It's really just a nice way to get away. It's like actually all the parkour and
Yeah.
jumping abilities. I will say it's probably some of the most rewarding. Like, it feels nice.
Yeah.
It's a weird comparison, but it feels kind of like Uncharted 2 to me, where in Uncharted I love jumping.
Yeah.
And in Crysis, I just love to jump. It's something really rewarding to be jumping, and it's like that power jump
Yeah.
that you feel. In Halo, you don't feel that. It's just kind of feel like you're floating.
Yeah.
This one you feel big and powerful and heavy, and I kind of like that.
When you hold down A as opposed to just tap it, you do like what he said. It's like a super jump. So you jump
Yeah.
maybe 2 or 3 times higher. And I found myself doing it unnecessarily 90% of the time, just
It's like
because
Crackdown.
I enjoyed it so much. Yeah, it's like Crackdown.
It's like
It's cool.
Crackdown
Yeah.
with a new weapon.
First person crack.
Yeah. The slide thing, I don't know if that ever will be effective. Maybe in an objective game type.
Yeah.
Capture the flag if you slide in. I don't even know if that's going to be in the game.
Well, the demo has 2 game types. One of them is just like a TDM, and then the other one is an objective game type that I haven't played yet. I don't know if you guys dabbled with that at all.
We haven't had a chance yet. but-
Have you messed with the kill streaks at all?
I managed to get up to a 5 kill streak, and I didn't do much with it. The kill streaks are kind of interesting. Like, it's not really intuitive how it works. If you kill someone, they drop a dog tag, and the dog tag has this like ray of light that pops up about 3 feet. And if you want to get a kill streak going, it's a 3-5-7. 3 is a spy plane, a radar. 5 is like a green laser beam of death that comes down, and 7 is a gunship.
Well, the dog tag system's kind of cool because
Yeah.
it kind of discourages camping and sitting there, because you actually have to go out and grab the dog tag.
Yeah.
But it penalizes you for being a good shot. If you take a good position, whether you're camping or not, the kill cam is there. They're gonna know how to find you. So good players, I think it's a little. I don't know how I feel about it yet.
I think that's a good spot for you to be able to use like your cloak or to be able to use your armor when you're going for it. Like, you want to save up and actually time when you use those extra perks for yourself. So if you have to run out there and get that kill streak, throw on your armor or go invisible for a little bit.
Yeah.
I get it,
Grab
but
it
it's
real
a
quick.
kill streak. It's not a fetch
Yeah.
streak. So I don't know.
I
Well,
like it.
there's 2 things with that, and the first thing is that it's really hard to not instinctually want to run and go grab that dog tag right away. And I found that maybe half the time or more, a little bit more, you end up getting killed when you're so focused on grabbing that dog tag so you can get a radar that you don't even notice the guy behind you.
Right.
The other thing too is that there's already so much going on in this game. There's a lot of noise going on. When a kill streak happens, it's like this huge big thing, especially when that laser beam goes on. I feel like if they had just automatic kill streaks without picking up the dog tags, it would just make the game super cluttered,
Yeah.
like with all that airspace going on. I don't know if I would like that so much.
I suppose that's another reason I like that scout class, is because you're already up in their face most of the time. So it's easy to go ahead and grab that thing and keep on moving, and then use the stealth to get out of the sticky spot as opposed to get into it.
The customization was really rad. And again, that's from standards that have already been set by other AAA shooters. It's kind of hard not to do that now. If you don't do that, then it's considered not as, in-depth as other first-person shooters.
Is it a give and take like it is with Black Ops or anything else, where you could use a silencer but you can't use a red dot or something like that?
They have 3 tiers of attachments, and I don't know, do you know? Like, I don't know if you can use all 3 of them at the same time. But for example, one tier had like either a reflex sight or something like extended mags. The second one had either a suppressor or something else, and the third one had like you can shoot like a hologram.
Right. Like
Or you can have an underbarrel shotgun or something. And I'm not sure if you can have all 3 at the same time, or if you can
can.
just pick one. You can?
Yeah, you can have all 3 at the same time. I actually did one where I was using a light machine gun, which is a very effective weapon if you're playing the demo. Try it out. One where it's kind of like sleight of hand, where it actually reloads you faster.
Yeah.
Another one where you can see invisible people, so when they're cloaked and run around, you can kind of tag them out. And I can't remember another one. Or energy for your shield.
It
your
was
armor.
you had one that was like a tracker. It was like a motion tracker. So
Yeah.
if someone's near you, you'll hear this beep, beep, and if they get closer, it goes beep, beep,
Yep.
beep. That thing was fucking super useful.
Yeah,
And I
you
didn't
can tell.
even realize at first that that's what it was, that beeping. That was telling me that was someone in the area. But that one I found, like, especially since the close quarters in this game is a little clunky, and I think that people were complaining about the melee, but I think they kind of had to do it like that. Like, the melee is weird. Like, you can go like that,
Yeah.
and not even really hit the guy, but if you're in the same space, it'll count as a hit, and it doesn't give you a hit marker, so you're not even sure that you even got him in the first place.
Hitbox actually lasts a little bit longer too. Did you see that one time where I swung at the guy and then still kind of turned and eventually got him, and somehow he got past? So it was a little interesting playing with that. But
yeah, I would say that's probably my least favorite part is the melee system. It's kind of hard when games like Halo and Call of Duty have somewhat perfected it, and Crysis is in this weird middle ground where it's like sometimes you'll get killed from a full hit because they're charged up, and sometimes you'll swing at a guy and he runs past you and you're kind of like, what the hell was that? And I don't know if it really works in this game. It just feels clunky, really.
Well, I feel like they're definitely taking a cue from Reach, at least in terms of the animations, because the fist animation of an actual punch is the same.
Right.
There's
It's two hit from the front and one from the back.
Right. There's also
they have assassinations.
After these fuckers take off, there are the assassinations, the stealth assassinations from behind, and I can't not think of Reach when I play that.
Don't underestimate your armor, and also I wouldn't get too attached to your armor too. The thing, the armor lasts longer than being cloaked, but it slows you down a lot. So what I was doing a lot was I would get a kill, and then I would go out of armor so I could sprint faster to pick up his dog tag, and then I would go back into it. But that armor gives you twice as much. I feel like I die like that if I'm not using the armor.
That's what I do like about the armor abilities is everything is a give and take, because it's like, okay, I'm stealthy, you can't see me, you can see my shadow, which sucks, but I'm weakened, but if I have armor, I can move slow. I'm moving slowly, but I can take a lot of damage and kind of become a tank, and it's cool to switch between them that quickly. I think they did a really good job of mapping it to the controller. It's very intuitive.
Yep.
That was like the more that I played the game, the most fun that I was having in the game was learning when is it appropriate to use cloak, when is it appropriate to use armor, and when is it appropriate to give up both and go fast.
When did you find yourself most using cloak?
I had the proximity tracker perk activated, so if anyone was near me, I would know it.
Yeah.
So if I was trying to get from point A to point B, if I was out in the middle ground and I hadn't necessarily identified an enemy yet, then I would definitely be running cloak. But the thing is you can't really sprint when you use cloak because your energy runs out super quick, within a few seconds.
Right.
Your cloak's gonna go away. So I haven't really truthfully figured out the best way to use it, because
I like to close a short distance and sort of take a spot, let the energy recharge. I've got my point B already lined up, and I'm kind of watching the mini map to see where the movement's going, who's where, and then I'll turn it on real quick and hop on over, turn it off, take a spot, keep that going, and just sort of daisy chain that around the map, and that kind of worked for me.
Yeah.
I feel like just due to the steadiness of the weapons, there's really no difference between an iron sight and a red dot.
Yeah.
I mean, in comparison, it's not. I don't know.
The red dot attachment eats up so much of the screen. For me, that was the biggest problem. I couldn't. 50% of the real estate on screen was covered. So
that reminded me a lot of Killzone.
Yes, very much so.
Killzone's red dots were super cumbersome, and it kind of it's definitely not as sluggish in terms of controls and responsiveness, but the aim down sights as opposed to hipfire reminded me a lot of Killzone too.
And the way the game works with its radar, it's if you fire a weapon, you show up, very similar to anything else out there, really. So if you put a silencer, it actually, very much like other popular shooters out there, does the same thing. So you can actually play as a stealth class if you want.
It didn't seem to nerf the range too bad though, which is the case with, say, Call of Duty.
Right.
I felt like that was really intact, and more or less it was just a few extra. It seemed to nerf the damage just a little bit, but other than that, it was gravy.
If you go into it expecting Call of Duty, you'll be disappointed. But if you go into it with an open mind to try something new, then for me, I'm super positive on it right now.
Yeah, me too.
The only thing I'm apprehensive about at the moment is the connections were definitely host advantage was huge. I don't know if you guys pulled up the screen, the menu, and saw everybody's connections compared to host. I was pulling host every single time.
Yeah.
Everybody else in the lobby was 2 bars.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, it is a demo and it's the first day of the demo, so I imagine that the servers are getting pretty slammed at the moment. But hopefully they can clean that up a little bit for the retail version of the game.
Yeah.
They actually did a really good job of taking that engine and putting it on a console, which is so PC exclusive.
Yeah.
Which has been touted, you can't fucking play this game, and now it's yes I can, sweet, on my 5-year-old game console. But looks phenomenal actually for what
Yeah,
it was. The,
really, really good.
the physics in the trees actually fall when you fire at them. Like that was pretty cool.
I didn't even see that.
Well, you should do that.
Yeah.
It's up on top of the top of the main rooftop. There was a guy running and he jumped and I was firing at him. It was on with the LMG and then a tree just fell over. I was like,
Really?
that was fucking cool.
Yes.
Like that's nice. I'm glad they kept that in
Yeah.
the engine. That makes me
Destructive
happy.
environments.
Yeah, cool.
So, final verdict. You digging it so far? You digging it so far?
I'm getting it.
Yeah.
Hopeful?
I'll be playing tonight.
Sure.
Yeah, I'd say we'd all recommend that you guys download it, and we'll see you online.
Save it for later.
What the hell was that? It's fucking touchy.